Hi, Dawn Lewis here. It's day 4 of the Fawn Love You A Latte 7 Ways in 7 Days Stamping Challenge. I'm really enjoying getting a lot of use out of these stamps. Today I've started with a cream shipping tag. I'm using vintage photo distress ink, my inking tool with the foam pad, some cream ribbon, like a fabric ribbon, and post-it notes, and a mask from one of the coffee cups I cut out yesterday. So I just had this still sitting on my desk, and this was a bit of an experiment. And I loved it so much that I've decided to add it to the series. I have used post-it notes for 2 reasons. One, it helps stick the little mask down because, let's face it, it's cut pretty close to the edge. And 2, it's stopping the ink from getting where I don't want it to go, which is super, super handy. And you can use negative space like this for some really cool techniques. It's like having a custom made stencil, so you don't have to always throw away that that cutout when you're cutting something out. You have a little think, can you use that again? I realized that pretty quickly this coffee cup was going to fill up the shipping tag, so I started to add it and have really small sections of the coffee cup just going off the edge of the paper. In some places, I'm talking really small, really, really small. Now, I made this project up as I went. I really did not know where I was going with it. It just all came together really well, and all of it is stash busting. I went back to my mini Misty and I've inked up the coffee cup using the same vintage photo distress ink, and I've got this great tone on tone. So it's kind of like my coffee cup is coloured in, but it's not coloured in, if you know what I mean. The other thing I like about this is that, of course, where I've had my coffee cup stencil, it's a little larger than the die. And look at me, this is me not wanting to make a mess of my pretty grid sheet. So since the post-it notes were already dirty, I slid them underneath for the stamping. I know, I don't like making a mess. I can't help it. So I like this. It's almost like I want to say a stenciled look, like a off-centered printed look. It's really cool. The other thing with your Mini Misty is they advise that you wipe inks off the lid straight away. I mean, with distress ink, it stays wet for ages. It's not that big a deal. But I figure the best thing for me to do is get into the habit now so that later on, when I'm using Stays On, I'm just in the habit of cleaning everything up straight away. And it was pretty quick to actually go through and stamp all these little pieces of coffee cup that were kind of hanging off the edge of my tag. So I'm really enjoying this Mini Misty. It's coming in very, very handy. Very, very quickly, we're going to do this last one. The magnets are super strong. They're holding that shipping tag really well. And I can clean my stamp while it's sitting on the lid, which is great. Okay, so this is a really old roll of ribbon that I got from my mum's house, and I'm just stamping directly on it with the vintage photo distress ink. So it's the one ink all the way through, and I put the little faces left and right. It's just, I don't know, those little faces make me smile, so it goes with the greeting. I have added a 3mm double-sided tape. It can be tricky to take the release paper off when you put tape directly onto ribbon, but there's a reason I applied it to the ribbon. You see those faces go a little wider than the tag, so I wanted to have a slightly longer fold over on the edge. Then I've taken a piece of scrap cream cardstock. I've got a lot left over from another project, and I've decided that I needed one of these coffee cups cut out to pop up off, and I stamped it while the mask was still on. It's a great guide, actually. It worked really well. I've die cut it using the matching coffee cup die from the Love You A Latte die set. And I added the face with the vintage photo. A little foam tape on the back, and we are on the home stretch. I ummed and ahed about putting it on top, and I thought flat out in the middle, absolutely the best way. I've used a bit of a length of butcher's twine. This is brown and white. I do wish it was a lighter brown, but hey, I'm stash diving, so we're going to use what we've got. And I've just folded it in half, threaded it through, very easy. And you've got this great custom shipping tag. You could add this onto a card, put it in your project life, use it as a gift tag, put it in a scrapbook. Tons of uses for it. Thanks so much for all of you who subscribe to my channel. I do hope you will join me tomorrow for day 5 of 7 Ways in 7 Days. Bye for now.